Look at what we're tracking for a look ahead. A chance of flakes out there tomorrow, but we're talking about mainly a dusting for the vast majority of the area. A little bit of a cooler week from what we saw in December, but as we mentioned, still above average for this time of year. Temperature is going to be sitting right around that 30-degree mark, where our average high this time of year is around 24, 25 degrees. Chance of snow returning later on will be towards the weekend and start of next week. Now, let's take a look at the numbers. As we mentioned, the average is 24 for today. Our high temperature today, 29. So it did feel more like January, but we're still about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of year. Our precipitation, of course, very dry across the area, and you'll notice that our sunrise and sunset is getting just a little bit better each day, but will be quite some time before we really see some longer days out there. High temperature tracker moving forward shows generally pretty consistent numbers here. You can see 30 degrees tomorrow, briefly dropping down to around 27 on Thursday, though thankfully coming with some sunshine. It's going to be towards the weekend and next week where things really stall out right around 32 degrees, and that's going to continue to be the case into next week, which could potentially be optimal for some snowmaking for parts of the area. Let's take a look here at the satellite radar picture. You'll notice here as we track across the state, overcast skies remain for the rest of our evening. Our future track forecast is going to show that as well. But if you are in the Northwoods, you could be seeing some snow early tomorrow morning for your morning commute. You'll see here around 6 o'clock in the morning, some very light bands of snow start to move into the northern half of the state. And while most of the activity will be north of Rhinelander, there is a small chance some of this snow could make its way down into central Wisconsin. So Wausau, Stevens Point, don't be surprised if you see a couple of flakes out there tomorrow, but don't expect to see much snow. You're not going to really have to shovel or anything like that. You will see continual light bands of snow up in the Northwoods, though, and that could potentially bring an inch of snow or so to parts of the region. As we track into Wednesday evening, the cloud cover starts to clear out with that snowfall, and we eventually move towards sunnier conditions, or at least clear skies, as we approach Thursday. Thursday won't be clear blue skies, but at least should have partly cloudy conditions for much of the daytime hours. So let's talk about the snow potential for Wednesday. As we mentioned, extremely light. We're looking at maybe a quarter of an inch to an inch of snow far north, trace of an inch to a half an inch here across central Wisconsin, which is a very mundane system for this time of year. Extended future track shows some small chances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but really not looking at anything classic until we hit early next week, where we could potentially have a weather system moving in here on Monday. That has the potential for maybe a few inches of accumulation, but of course it is still quite a ways out there. We're going to keep our eye on that throughout the week. Tonight we drop down to 25, mostly cloudy and quiet. Our forecast tomorrow around 30, looking a lot like this. A few flakes of snow, especially for the northern part of the state. 7-day forecast tracking forward puts it all together. You can see a bit of cloud cover as we head into the weekend. Overall, not seeing too much sunshine. We do have those small chances of snow, the highest being Monday and Tuesday of next week.